I think I can just bring you news on this channel safely. That is, things that used to be conspiracy theories, but now are totally true or widely regarded as true. Things that used to be dismissed are now factual. Things that used to be censored, banned, oh, now you can say. Because the Daily Beast said it, or NBC said it, the Peacock. So here's the story, I'll bring it to you. It's in the mainstream news. A new docuseries suggests, get ready for it. I don't want to shock you if you've been tuned into this channel before. Jeffrey Epstein was a government informant, says this docuseries produced by the Peacock, which I guess is NBC, which I guess is Comcast. So they're saying that Jeffrey Epstein was a government informant and actually worked with the feds. And we suppose then that his child trafficking and so forth was maybe covered up because of his work with the feds. So we can say, I don't know, it was a conspiracy theory. They say that this stuff about child trafficking and so forth, but you could say the federal government was involved in child trafficking. You could say that if this headline is true. And this is the freaking Daily Beast. So, yes, it might be news to you that maybe, Jeffrey Epstein was working with one or two intelligence agencies, doing what he was doing, since he kind of got away with something that a lot of people pretty much knew about for a long time. Oh, and then he had powerful friends too. This is, what used to be a conspiracy theory too, is he was pretty good friends with Bill Gates. Isn't the news weird? I don't understand it. But as long as I can report to you on it without, being called a crazy conspiracy theorist, maybe Jeffrey Epstein was working with the feds. Maybe that's not that far-fetched. And maybe when people criticize people that believe in QAnon, and I have plenty of criticism for those people, but to think that the government might be involved in something like child trafficking, well, maybe it's not so crazy. Look who's saying it's not crazy. People you listen to, right? So if they're saying it's not crazy, then maybe it's possible. And maybe the government is involved in some pretty shady stuff. And as long as we're talking about the government being involved in kind of shady dealings, what about the government being involved in this Capitol siege? See, you're not allowed. So right now, that's controversial. Maybe it'll become a fact down the road, though. So we'll save it for when it becomes conspiracy fact. But the FBI, not that they planned the events there on 1/6, not that they planned the events, not that they were behind it necessarily, but maybe that they knew about it. That's it, really. And they say this is crazy. Acosta on CNN said, whoa, you can't say that. Well, look what they're saying about the feds and Jeffrey Epstein. If we're saying that the feds were involved in child trafficking, covering it up, then I think we can say maybe the feds could have infiltrated a couple groups like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers or the 3 Percenters who supposedly were involved in planning this thing on January 6th. And that's crazy, Really? That the feds might have some people involved. They're paying some people to get some information about these groups that everybody's heard of, everybody knows about, that are widely known to be totally infiltrated, including and up to the leadership of these groups being known as FBI informants. So we're supposed to believe that these groups, including the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, the 3 Percenters, planned the Capitol siege, as you call it. And the FBI didn't know about it? Didn't know about it? And so then, and they say it's crazy to suggest that that might be the case? Really? I mean, do you think the FBI is doing its job? If they're doing their job, they knew about it, actually. And it shouldn't have taken an expose, really. People should have thought. The FBI should have known about that. And, they should have stopped it. That's what it implies. But why wouldn't, that's crazy. So maybe that's a story for another day. But, they're ushering in some crazy stuff because of that Capitol siege, which you can't say the FBI knew anything about, right? Anti-government, anti-authority, violent extremists are on this list. DVEs with ideological agendas derived from anti-government or anti-authority sentiment, including opposition to perceived economic, social, or racial hierarchies, or perceived government overreach, negligence, or illegitimacy. Sometimes I don't approve of what the government does, really. I don't really take sides either. I just don't like them much. I'd hate them to say that they had to start looking at me. All because of something they could have stopped. But, no, yeah, I guess you're racist, white supremacist, Trump supporter if you mention that. So that's it. That's the news. That's the news that's news today. Now you can tell people. Jeffrey Epstein, he's probably working with the feds. Look, that's the saying on TV. Not just crazy people on YouTube. All right, thanks. For more content, subscribe to Rockfin, ROKFIN.com/lifttheveil for stuff I can't say on YouTube. Buy our t-shirts. Go to truthclothing.io. We have a ton of really nice stuff there. Check it out. truthclothing.io. And as long as we can stay on here, we'll keep making videos. That is what it is.